stellar defenses, but if you break it down even further, it's Manning and Garcia against those defenses. It's not just the defenses in a vacuum. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horwitz and NFL.com's Pat Kerwin. Breaking down 3-1 Tampa Bay and undefeated Indy. You know, Monty Kiffin, creator of the Tampa 2, Tony Dungy, coaching that system, knows it very well. Obviously, they run it in Indy as well. But so far through this point of the season, Tampa's defense has shown fewer holes maybe than Indianapolis. But does that get thrown out the window when you face Peyton Manning?
No, I think Kiffin and those guys down in Tampa have done a beautiful job of getting this defense, as they like to say, cleaned up. And in the last 3 weeks, these guys haven't given up a point in the first half of any game. Tells you the scouting reports were good, tells you the plan was good, and they understand how to stop their opponent. Now, of course, they're up against Peyton Manning. It'll be a little different. But I think their goal here is to get those guys to lock them at halftime with no points or a field goal, really frustrate Peyton, see if they can rattle him that way. Easier said than done.
Well, that was how it was in 2003, the last time they played. We'll get into that in a second. But Peyton Manning this weekend, he may be short of a couple weapons. Marvin Harrison, as of Thursday afternoon, still questionable, may not play with the knee injury. Joseph Adai, same thing. He didn't practice on Wednesday. But they showed against Denver that they can, as they have in the past, it doesn't matter who's out there. If Peyton Manning's out there, you're going to find the ball. So, Dallas Clark, Brian Fletcher, big roles this weekend?
Yeah, I think first off, I'm not going to minimize Marvin Harrison. He's a great player and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame someday. But they can overcome him for a game or two, and it's easy to switch Gonzalez over there to Reggie Wayne's spot, put Reggie Wayne over at Marvin's spot, keep Dallas Clark in the slot, and get the same reads. They're going to get the same reads. In fact, it might go back to the old-fashioned one of the roll coverage to Reggie Wayne, and that makes the backside open. And here comes Dallas Clark. And Dallas Clark in the last 2 weeks has had multiple touchdown games.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, and Peyton's finding him left and right. He's working on corners. He beat Champ Bailey at one point last week. It was absolutely fantastic. All right, on Tampa Bay, Carnell Williams, Cadillac Williams, torn patella tendon, and we certainly wish him the best. Some saying it may be career-threatening, and a guy that around the league very well liked, has played very well, a good guy is everything that's always been said out of Tampa Bay. But Bucs move forward, and their offensive scheme with 3 running backs is now down to 2. How much does that hurt them?
Well, there's rumors that they're out talking to the Vikings, possibly about Mewelde Moore. But in the meantime, I'm going to get to that in a second. They got a bigger problem with the Luke Pettigoat injury, and we'll talk about it. But Ernest Graham, to me, as a replacement running back, is terrific. He has responded the last 2 weeks when asked to play. I think he'll do just fine when he's in the backfield doing his job, and he'll be over 4 yards a carry. You look at them on tape and watch the guards of the Tampa Bay Bucs. The guards in the center are opening up the holes. Graham will get through the holes just as well.
And that's been the concern the last couple of years was the offensive line for Tampa, but it certainly has improved. Now let's get into Luke Pettigoat.
Right.
Brought him in from New York in the offseason. He's done for the year. How does that change, not only for the running game, but for Jeff Garcia's protection?
Most importantly for the passing game, as you alluded to there, Jason, here's a guy that Gruden said to me, and I said it last week, I love Pettigoat because I don't need to leave a blocker in to help him. The guy had not given up a sack. He's over there with no tight end help, no back chipping, just doing his job. And that gave Garcia a lot of weapons. Starting this week, with the kid they're going to have there, they're going to have to leave a tight end. It's time for Anthony Beck probably to come in the game and help out. And that immediately makes life better for the defense because they see one less weapon to worry about.
And because you've got Dwight Freeney staring at you in your face as well.
Correct.
And that's a huge problem in this game. All right, let's take a look at the AccuScore prediction. 10,000 tests, 10,000 mathematical predictions, and 10,000 results. And 85% of the time, the Colts came up. And the average score was big. Colts 4-0, trying to get to 5-0 yet again. It would be the 4th straight year. You like them to do so?
I like the Colts to win, but I don't agree with the computer on the separation in this score. I know that the Colts score 40 points a game at home, but they're playing a terrific defense, and they're playing a crafty quarterback who doesn't throw interceptions and doesn't fumble the ball and doesn't get sacked that often. So, you got to deal with the Garcia factor. I think the game will be a lot closer than the computer thinks.
Well, the last time they played, it was very not close in favor of Tampa Bay, and then all of a sudden, Indy came back in the 4th quarter. Just relive it for a second. It was 28-7 Bucs in the 4th quarter. Indy won 38-35 in overtime. I don't think they're going to let that happen as far as getting behind by 21 in this. The two teams kick it off at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. And for more on this game or any other, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Check everything else out on the CBS Audience Network. For Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.